kick the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
let's get a topic straight, let's get things good, let's do everything that we should.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right.
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Take Project Open Mic. Back here at again with another podcast. We gonna get straight to the nitty-gritty on a lot of stuff. Apologize again. Still having issues with dental and all kind of stuff and helping family out. So it's crazy, but I'm not gonna waffle. I'm not gonna dilly-dally. I'm gonna get into the topics, of course, tonight. But I want to do something and put my beautiful mug on the screen. I do want to say thank you for the people out there, including at Tempo FM, who shared a video of the stuff of the last Project Open Mic that we did, which was with Bill Cosby. Yes, we talked about a couple of stuff about there, and again, I'm happy. I'm happy for a person who did shout out to say, wasn't hearing the audio. But the audio is working good now, so hey, it's good to be back here now and getting into some more topics. So tonight's topic is basically talk about the unrest in the world in a way and see how that's going to go to the future. And like I said, it's going to be weird in its own. So I could find a video on this one, but you guys could go Google this one out and check it out. So first one would be the Biden administration wants now, because of what's happening with COVID and everything, with the whole Delta and everything that I've said, easily that I could predict, of course, they're getting to the point now to tell the phone companies now that they can censor people about misinformation if I text by text messages, which is, I think that's a little too far-fetched there, Mr. Biden. Sorry about that, but I'm not down with that. That is crazy. They're reaching out to AT&T and other companies so they could censor because they said they don't want nobody to spread any misinformation. So now you don't have an opinion now? That's a problem? We can't have an opinion? I wonder how that works out in other countries. Oh, we don't forget other countries don't do certain things, but the future just is gonna look crummy. My best advice always to tell people out there is to take care of yourself, do what you gotta do, of course, protect yourself, take care of yourself, because that's crazy. They're gonna try to censor that. Like, I'm gonna send a text, they're gonna censor it. Good luck with that. Next is also they want the UN to look into. Biden is asking the UN to look into systemic racism and brutality. I'm laughing at that because if anybody knows what the UN does in other countries, they were like, wait a minute, that's kind of the pot calling the kettle metal. But they have this weird nomenclature thinking that, oh, this is a great thing. And again, I know a lot of people say, oh, there's no systemic racism. There is systemic racism in America. Don't get twisted. But the thing is, it's not the way people think it is. That's the problem. they think it's systemic racism. The cops do this and all this stuff. Again, the numbers do not pan out. Heck, look at 4th of July. Look how much people got shot and murdered in Chicago. I mean, they're taking care of their population problem up there, of course. Same thing's going on in New York and San Francisco and all that stuff, with all the crimes going up. And in Washington, not Washington, D.C., Washington State. Those crimes are going up, 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 up. You know, sadly, shout out to my friend. He's a friend of the podcast. You guys hear him on the side chat. If those who listen to the side chat, sadly, he got hit. You know, so kind of got punched by a crazy person in L.A. And you know, like, this is getting ridiculous. But you know, people didn't want to see it. They just want to say, oh, like AOC said, oh, there's no rise in crime. I'm like, what? I wish I had a clip. What stuff are you smoking? Cause you ain't sharing it with us, because you smoking some good stuff to not think that crime is not going up in your in your city, including in your neighborhood. That's why you guys got a different mayor now. Congratulations to the mayor. I hope he gets tough on crime. He's a former police chief. Hope he gets tough on crime and push and get New York back under control. Same. People getting punched, kicked, children, old people, they don't care. Without something to deter people's inhibitions have gotten more and more loose and crazy. And they are just going at it right now, which is not good. But, yeah. Let's have the UN come in and do stuff. I'm like, how about no? Let's not do that. But you guys make these games. This thing's kind of weird. Really, really weird. So we'll see what the administration doing. They're doing a lot of crazy stuff in there. But I want to play some clips right now. Okay, again, I want to play a certain clip of our future president, because let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's what it's gonna be. I've said, you heard me say it multiple times. Go ahead and just pull the band-aid off. Just get it over with. Just get it over with, because it's gonna be rough. It's just gonna be rough for us. So let me bring this up. I said it once, I've said it a million times. She is a horrible president. Again, remember, she was the first one to get knocked out. She called the president she has right now basically a rapist and a racist, and he picked her still. She took so long to get down to the border, but then he went to but let Donald Trump outdo her, which is stupid. But that's the game they want to be playing. And I just don't get it. Why are you playing that kind of game? Why not just, I don't know, just do the easy part? But it's what it is. So, and she said the most nonsensical stuff, as we saw with Lester Holt on that one. Where I never been to Europe. Like, she's awkward. She's not confrontational. She don't have a poker face. She always laughs when she's lying or she's super uncomfortable. And this is gonna be our future president. So what can I say? What can I say? Miss Vice President, let's talk about this voter ID thing. point blank period, the Democrats do not have any good idea. They have no good theses, theories, or facts to stop, to not make sure our election is secured. They don't. Voter ID is not voter ID is something very simple and should be implemented. Other countries who are worse than us, worse than America, has it in. So you should have voter ID. Because again, how the heck you vote? And remember, 2016, they were like, "Oh yeah, we want to make sure our votes count." Well, now you change it to me because to see where things going. But again, let's just see how our vice president takes the question.
In her first interview on the topic as VP. So far this year, at least 17 state legislatures, most of them Republican-led, have enacted new laws to restrict voting access. That's according to the Progressive Brennan Center for Justice. Supporters say tighter voting laws are needed to prevent fraud, though there's no evidence that...
There is evidence. Stop that nonsense. I provided evidence. I've showed evidence of it. MSN, CBS, really? Well, I can't say nothing because y'all are full of crap as well too. I've even used you guys as a source to show this fraud. So don't say it don't happen. It does. And the only reason you can't, because we don't have a system to checks and balances to check it. You know why? You know why a grocery store knows what if things are not fraudulently gone or missing or whatever. They have an audit. And we don't really have a good audit of a voting system. That's the sucky part. We need one. And just a simple thing of just showing an ID, that's a problem. Good grief. There is evidence. I've shown it multiple times. Go back to the past. You'll see it. I'll go to my go on YouTube, Project Over Mike, and I forgot which episode, but the episodes are you'll see the episodes when I show it out. You'll see it. I talked about it. And I showed not only evidence, physical evidence. Judges got convicted of doing crazy stuff. Judges got convicted of this. So you can't tell me, if that's the case, then a supreme judge of a state will never get convicted. New Jersey, they wouldn't have, same thing with North Carolina, they would have never got convicted, go to jail. All that stuff that never happened. So please, stop lying.
That voter fraud is a widespread problem. The vice president spoke with Soledad O'Brien for an interview airing tomorrow on BET and BET Her, which are part of Viacom CBS.
Hold on. BET Her? It's so long I watch BET, I don't even know these things. Excuse me. I gotta look at this. Sorry. I gotta look at stuff. BET Her. BET Her. Good grief. Good luck with that nonsense. That's why I said, like I said, the way my money is working, and there's a reason why I don't watch BET that much. It's a spin-off of BET to focus on general entertainment targeting African American women. I mean, by the name of Her, I know it. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Remember, Viacom is owned by white people. Oh yeah! Oh my goodness! I hope I can find that video. I hope I can find that video to show you, because once again, I've been proven correct about certain things. Alright, BET Her. I just wanted to know what it's all about. So let's just go ahead. BET Her. I don't watch BET at all.
In this exclusive clip, she was asked if Democrats should compromise on voter ID provisions in order to pass a larger voting rights law in Congress.
People are talking about potential compromises. Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities.
now? Let me go back. What she said?
Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who
What?
you are.
No,
Well,
what?
there are a whole lot of people, especially.
Miss Harris, you know there's ways you could do it. You know, picture. You can use your phone to send a picture in as well through emails. I don't know. There's many ways to send it in.
To people who live in rural communities who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws,
What the fuck?
be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
What? This woman is gonna be the president of the United States. Oh my God! Y'all choose the most. Y'all talk. Oh my goodness! Listen to the last part she just said.
Understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
I don't know. You go to the DMV. You get a driver's license, or you have a Social Security, or you have a library card. You have so many ways, so many IDs to identify who you are, ma'am, and you can present it them, because I know when I go to notarize, I gotta have my stuff copied and show to get my stuff notarized. I know when I'm doing stuff for, my house and everything, I need a vote for a lot of people in the rural areas. I don't know what do you guys do in the rural areas? You know, I kind of live in a suburbish kind of rural, but what do you guys do? I mean, it's so hard to buy this. You know, let me see. Let me see here. You know, because you guys don't know what you're talking about. Let me see. You know, it's so hard to buy something. Let me see. $55 to look at some ranges. $99, $69. Dang. $79. You guys can't buy a printer that you can copy your stuff and send it in. Good grief. I swear. No, I think you just full of crap. But I digress.
Of course, people have to prove who they are.
Exactly. So you just answered your own. Oh my good grief! How can you be so hypocritical that quickly? But most people are. Go ahead.
But not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
How's that impossible, you crazy lady?
You can see more of Soledad O'Brien's exclusive interview with the
I swear, there are a couple. Again, I say forget it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let Biden go, whatever. Let's get her in the office. Get the whole, first black woman, whatever, all this nonsense out of the way so we can get it over with. Because my goodness. And I could tell you right now, you think Putin, you think Xi Jinping, you think what his name is again? Not Modern. Modern. You think those guys care about, like, oh, I'm gonna be scared of America when she's in office? They're just like, oh, Biden is very easy, and when she gets in office, she'll be, because again, she can't, and when she's trying to be stern, she got that awkward ass laugh and Biden have that stupid thing when he does, where he's like, when he's lying, he always do this, that nonsense. Like, why does he do that? I didn't know it's a lie, but you ain't gonna do that because you can't. Why do he does that? But they do. But they do. Whatever. So, let's look at the world that this woman's going to be inheriting in the future. And all I can tell you right now, people, is work hard, save your money, put put investments where you can have diversify your portfolio, diversify everything. Get HSA, get extra, put money in a savings account, put money in stocks, put money in mutual funds, IRA, diversify the best as you can. Because and put something in some thing. Learn how to cook. If you have a house and everything, be kind of like me. Learn how to get a little bit to get off the grid. Because funny enough, as people would know, like I myself got into some of this stuff, and like I said, I got solar panels. Gonna get a full house water filtration system. Just learn all that stuff because man, it's gonna be a little rough in the future. It's going to be a little rough. I don't think it's the end of America, like most people are saying. But man, we're in some rough times. And I think 2022, I think we're going to see a little shift in certain things. In 2024, oh, if you thought last one was going to be was crazy, oh my goodness. 2024 going to be a cakewalk of craziness compared to what 2020 was. And we already know the media's gonna lie, cheat, and steal like they did last time. They do whatever they can, including the social media giants, the Googles, the Facebooks, the YouTube, all of them. They're gonna do that their horrible stuff like they did. They're gonna do that. So just get prepared for that. But like I said, I can't control myself out of that. I don't control my hands and feet. So I'm gonna do what I can do with my power the best as I can. But anyway, let me show the world that she's gonna hear it. So. I like how they say Black Lives Matter now is basically saying, I'm telling you, they don't care. And now that they lost She's Colors, and she already done put her fence with barbed wire and stuff to make an electric gate to keep you folks away from her house where she lives in. She don't care about no stuff. She got what she wanted. So let's look at what's going on. Because Black Lives Matter said that Cuba is America's the cause of Cuba's problems. Yeah, okay. Tell that to a lot of.
Have taken.
If that's Black Lives Matter, I got a question. If that's the case, right? Why the hell a lot of people? Why over the years these people fled as best as they can to get to America? I'm just saying, it don't make no sense to me. If that was a problem, they wouldn't go to America. They would go to someplace else. Just saying. But you know they don't make no sense.
Taken a hard line after the biggest anti-gun.
You know what? I mean, being what it is, knowing how things are. Let me switch. Give me a second, because I know how. I just know how they are. Some of the stuff. So let me switch to this one and continue.
Government demonstrations in 30 years. After thousands took to the streets in the capital Havana and other cities across the country, police used pepper spray and beat some of the protesters. The crowds are unhappy with food shortages, high prices and the authorities' handling of the COVID pandemic. Well, Cubans have been angered by the collapse of the economy. Last year, Cuba's state-controlled economy shrank by 11%. Now, that's its worst decline in almost 3 decades. It's been pretty hard hit by the pandemic too. And of course, those US sanctions imposed by the Trump administration. More than 200 new sanctions were imposed on the island's economy during Trump's tenure. And the Biden administration, well, they haven't lifted any of them.
Well, did you not see what happened when Obama lifted as well too? Oh, did it stop the people? Did it? Oh no, it did not. It did not. And also, this is their island. They gotta fix their island. Why people always looking out to other people to help fix their stuff? I don't get that. That's why a lot of these people would like to come to America or go to other countries. Yes, it's bad you move. I get that. I understand that. But if they don't fix their island, it's gonna just still get worse and worse as it's always been.
Protesters are also angry at a shortage of vaccines as the country reports a record of nearly 7,000 daily infections and 47 deaths on Sunday alone. That's twice as many as the previous week. Tanya Dendrinos sent this.
Oh, so all the people who were getting beat, snuffed, killed before with Fidel Castro and everything, and his brother and stuff, we don't count that as more major problem than this, but whatever.
Report.
Chanting for freedom. Not a cry often heard in Havana. Cubans took to the streets in what the opposition has called the biggest anti-government protests in almost 3 decades.
Huh. The homeboys wear an American mask, and over here too. Huh. Weird how that works.
State security beat me and my daughter.
Damn.
They beat us because we were walking down the street.
We are here because of the repression against the people. They are starving us to death.
Again, so what that got to do with Trump doing a section? See how stupid this stuff the people is? That don't make no difference.
Havana is collapsing. We have no house, we have nothing. But they have money to build hotels, and they have us starving.
Exactly.
Demonstrations were also held in Florida, where the Cuban exile community showed its solidarity. Cuba's president has blamed the United States for the unrest.
Yeah, good one with that one, Mr. Dictator.
Laying down a threat for anti-government protesters.
We came here to show, together with the revolutionaries of this town, that here the street belongs to the revolutionaries. No worm or mercenary will claim the streets.
You notice something? I just noticed something here. I'll replay it. Notice something, and it's sad that I noticed this way. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a conspiracy guy. I don't know. Let's see here, but I'll let it play.
And if they provoke us, without violating their constitutional rights, we will confront them.
You notice?
Words spurring on supporters of the communist government, some taking it upon themselves to surround and detain those demonstrating, while others staged counter-protests.
We are defending what we did 60 years ago, that this is ours, that it has cost many lives, that capitalism will never come back here again, and that these mercenaries, paid by the empire, will never again take our streets. They will have to kill us all first. Demonstrations of this kind are rare in Cuba, but as the country reports a record number of coronavirus infections, tensions are boiling over and cries for democracy are growing. Tanya Dendrinos, BBC News.
Well, I'm joined now by Anna Maria Aurora from BBC Mundo. And Anna Maria, protests like this obviously happened around 30 years ago. The economy then was an issue, but I guess things have been more complicated.
It was an issue because, again, dictatorship, Venezuela, but always we don't want crony capitalism. I don't want. I get that, or oligarchy capitalism. I don't want. I get that. But that's not what you guys have in Cuba at all.
This time by the coronavirus pandemic and the perceived handling of it by the government.
Yes, I would say the coronavirus crisis is one of the main factors in these situations. In the last days, we saw people sharing videos on social media of people dying at home or without proper medical assistance, and that went viral on social media accounts in the island. And this is actually another main factor that now Cuban people has this access to social media, and that has become a kind of a way to gather and to coordinate these kind of actions as these protests that we are seeing now. We are talking about more than 20 cities and villages in the country that spontaneously, they say, went out to protest against the government, against the economic situation and the sanitary situation. Let's not forget that Cuba is now, after dealing very well with the pandemic, with the pandemic, dealing with the worst of the situation they have so far, with records of high numbers of about 7,000 new cases each day of coronavirus. So this is one of the main factors, definitely, of this new protest in the island.
Okay, so it's clear that people are unhappy. These protests are, comparatively big, but, what's the next step? Where are these protests going to go? Without military support, which is, highly, highly unlikely, what do these protesters actually want to see happen, and how likely is it what they want will happen?
I mean, I think it's too early to say, and we have to see what is going to happen next, because yesterday we saw a protest, but also a brutal repression against the persons that were on the streets. And we have also the president of Cuba, Miguel Díaz-Canel, calling the people that are defending the revolution or with the government to come out on the streets and to try to confront these protesters.
Oh, so, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Oh, so let me get this straight. You go there and fight for what I effed up, so I stay where I stay at, and I'm protected, but you go out and fight for this. No, I swear. Y'all, again, I'm telling you, y'all have there's 3 superpowers. Y'all say, oh, America's not bad. Okay, yeah, America has its problems. But when it goes to socialism, which is Russia, and communism, which is China, I'll take America. Hands down, no problem. I remember watching a video, shout out to Abba and Preach. They did a video that talked about privilege and stuff like that. And it was a good video, don't get me wrong, I liked it. Except for one thing Abba did ask, is like, would you be a white person? But he would ask about white privilege. He said, would you be a white person? I'm like, no. Would you be a person that don't have limbs, but then be a white person? I'm like, no. I don't want to be a white person. Not that I have black pride in my skin. I know, because again, I'm not prideful in my skin. I was born this way, so I don't look at it as that. I just don't want to be a white person. My toe miles, and like I said, my toe miles and stuff with certain white people, yeah, it happens. Again, the right, leftist, progressive women, I've said more of the time, those are the most dangerous creatures to be away from. Trust me. But other than that, though, yeah, my consecration with a lot of people has been people who looks like me, skin color wise. So I'm sorry, I just don't have that. I have that, F's to give moments in any time. But that's a good way to do this, though. Get other people to fight your wars for you. Same thing what Moderna is doing down in Venezuela too, and that ain't working very well.
The uncertainty, I think, is the right word for the situation that we have right now. But we have to say that the number of people that are on the streets, that we can count for 1,000. And I think also we have a protest from the east to the west of the country. And this is something really with no precedence after the triumph of the Cuban Revolution in 1959.
Well, yeah, because Castro basically, anybody started doing anything like this, they kill him. But let's just not say that, BBC. Come on. Come on. Jeez. And then you got the stuff that's going on in Haiti with the assassination of the president. Things are getting really, really messed up. This world, how it's going to be. Now, here's the thing now. I am not one of those people who say it's getting progressive worse in a degree. Per country, per country, per situation, I get it. Here's why I'm saying this. Not because, like the lady just said too, now that we have these things, it shows more. They were protesting in Cuba, but again, they were scared of a lot of stuff because they didn't want to get themselves in trouble. Same thing in Russia, same thing in China, same thing in all these places, hate everything. All this stuff was going on all the time, per se. But we don't have these devices to record and send an instant media and everything, whatever. If I'll say anything, that's a curse. That's a gift and a curse, because yes, it helps some people. I get it. It does help get that out information out there to people, but it really does also shows that expose like the worst of human nature, and we're humans, and that's just What? That's just where we are. So that's Cuba. Alright, let's go to another one. This is where gonna be after Wilds, whatever. Now, I've talked about this in Project Open Mic shows that didn't have like episodes really, but I've talked about this stuff in South Africa, and again, it's one of those things I predicted was gonna happen. It just, I always like that. There's literally a show called Prove Me Wrong because of this, but I'm not surprised by seeing what I'm seeing here. So this is South Africa. That the last president who got arrested and people acting up stupid. He was again off killing white folks, doing all kind of stuff, taking land from white people, and all that stuff. People who were born there, not people who were whatever. Did same thing like Moderna did with kicking people out of the like again. Venezuela is on oil. They have oil. They could make much money. But what happened? Because he wanted to. He and I forgot the guy before him. President of Venezuela, because they want to control every single aspect. They know everything how to do right. They put in their cronies into the oil fields, and then the oil fields are basically, they're not destroyed because the oil's still there, but the rigs are ruined. How the heck you got instant money and you can't get it? Government. There's a saying, Mother Nature makes droughts. Government makes famine. And that's what is going on there. So when the president of South Africa, former president of South Africa was doing all this stupid stuff that came up, I was like, this ain't gonna be good. And then you had water stations not doing good, sewage plant not getting filtered. I was like, oh, this is really gonna turn out bad. Well, after 2 years of not thing, the people chose another president. But human beings, human nature. This right here is what you just saw is elevation of that, right? This right here that you're gonna see, this is human nature at its worst, and it's gonna be what it is. So let's play. This is just horrible. They the protesters doing. They're destroying your own country. Look at all that. Look at all that. They're moving refrigerators. This
cannot allow anyone to make a mockery of our democratic state, and we have instructed the law enforcement agencies to double their efforts to stop the violence and to increase deployment on the ground.
You want to see what that could come to America and what can happen when we don't keep things on this stuff? Look at this. Look at this. Look at the trash. Look at human nature. Cars accident.
I guess the real reason is because and at some point we want to shop and close allows in next. So I bought out after and to say it survive a job.
But this stuff right there, my thing is how y'all gonna survive? You see, you gotta be survive. How you gonna survive? If nobody's working, nobody's making stuff. There's nobody making stuff, then what's going on? Human nature is worse. It's sad. It's very, very sad. I want to see if we can find one more video before anything here, because let me see if we can find it. Because I want to point out something too. It's to me to see how crazy these things. Oops, nope, wrong. Pressed on the wrong commercials, of course. It's crazy to me to see, again, to understand this. Human nature. We're destructive creatures. Society is a thin layer of that. Is that you want to control so much, or you want to, or not control so much. Freedom is something that you gotta fight for. I guarantee that. For those people right there who's doing all that looting and stuff like that, those companies, they're gonna take it as a loss. So again, the economy gonna drop. Bad enough you have COVID, then your economy is gonna be gone. Then you ain't gonna got no food. Then you ain't gonna got no jobs. What you gonna do? It comes to a point, as you just saw right there, most of the stores are empty. So what else can you loot? And then and if you loot it, who you gonna sell it to? And again, you moving off refrigerator and freezers. Like the guy said, there's no power. All of this is just like, what the heck? There's so much stuff that's just bad. I want to look at it, see if we can find a protest video, another protest video, of course, because I want to show something in it, just like I saw something there and I want to talk about. Oh yeah, I got to talk about that, another thing too. Put that on the tab. I got to talk about it, because it is important. It is important. But let me see if I can find one thing that will help us understand everything here. Let me get a question. Come on. Hate doing this live one. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. And again, this is one of those things where, you know, the news lets you see what they see, but actual cameras there basically tells you also what goes on. So that's what I want to bring the news in on this, so you could see it.
Please. Hundreds of people marched in Oakland today calling for an end to gun violence. But this march was different. The police chief organized it and counter-protesters showed up. Here's NBC Bay Area's Tom Jensen.
We need all hands on deck. All hands on deck.
A loud cry for help on the shores of Lake Merritt, where hundreds of people held a rally and a walk for peace.
This is a plague. For us, this is a pandemic. This is the COVID that never goes away for us.
Counter-demonstrators tried to interrupt the rally, shouting out the names of people they say are victims of police violence and holding a large banner calling police domestic terrorists. The issue of police funding in Oakland has been divisive, but others say we actually need to add more officers to the streets where violence and property crimes are surging.
We're in a state of emergency. We are in a state of emergency. We are going down a dystopian road to hell in a handbasket.
Oakland's police chief, business owners, and church leaders saying gun violence has gotten out of hand.
I hear that gunfire 24/7.
And true unity is the only solution in Oakland, a city that's had a violent reputation for decades.
It is time that we come together and we unite behind reducing gun violence in the city of Oakland.
While we're arguing about how to go forward, our children are being left alone.
The city's new chief of violence prevention says the solutions start with listening to Oakland youth, searching for a feeling of community and hope, and who too often turn to guns and violence.
If our children are acting out, we have to check out what we're doing, because we have some responsibility in that.
Stand up.
True. It goes back to the parents and also single motherhood, but yes.
For a safe Oakland.
In Oakland, Tom Jensen, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, and that was all good. But let's put it, I want to, like I said, shout outs to on the black conservative here. I want to show you this other part. Now, again, and look and take a look closely of this. People, the anti-protesters. The thing about this is it's just noise. But look, check it out. Check out what it looked like. Why argue with them? They don't know nothing. I've shown you not once, not twice, not 3, 4, 5, multiple times. The people who get hurt, get destroyed, they're all talking about defund the police, whatever. Black folks. The people who basically ACAB and ACAB and what's the other one again? Antifa and all them. What they all are? White, 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 white. Telling black people how to live their lives. Yeah, you guys don't need people to protect you. We're here to help you, that you don't need that. So you can go ahead and destroy yourselves while we stay in a nice, palatial places, nice walls, nice gated community, and we got to worry about nothing. Or upper part where we have security and the cops will come to us while you guys go ahead and kill yourselves. What else can I say? How much time you got to see that? I always see that. That's why I said I showed it multiple times. Look at the time when they had up in Minnesota when they went there and talked it, and they talk about the guys like people coming in and looting our cities and destroying our cities, and then they went to Washington D.C. and what did the white girl says? Oh, I think they should loot. I think they've been tired for so long. They should riot. They should do all that. Okay, let's do it in Washington D.C. Oh no, don't do it around my neighborhood. Remember the guy I showed you with the text where he's like, yes, burn things down, do all this stuff. And then when they came to his neighborhood, what he said, keep these animals away from me. Be careful how these people are. They don't care about you. They don't. These guys are useful idiots. These are people you should not even argue with. Ma'am, you should not even argue with these morons. All these white kids don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't. They don't care. They don't care. They don't live in the areas you guys live. They live outside, so that's where they do that. They're useful idiots. That's what it is. It's sad, but true. Useful idiots. That's what it is. As I said multiple times again, this is just what's going on with... This is just what's going on with these kids. These kids are being used as pawns. These kids are being used in a certain way to get to do horrible things. And it's sad to see that. But I'm sorry. I always said again, these people are outsiders. They're not in the community where they is. Maryland learned that the hard way after the Freddie Gray situation. I told you the story about that. They say pull a cop back. The cops got pulled back. What? Murders went skyrocketing like crazy. Right now, a lot of the police chiefs in Chicago, police chiefs and police are quitting in droves. In Washington, the same thing happening too. Remember, first, these are people who say they're progressive. Wait, they were going to be progressive. Blah blah blah. First black female cop, they got rid of her. You see the cop, you see the chief there is a black guy too, black. They know whatever. I showed you one when one of the cops was was on his stand. They came on his porch at 3 o'clock in the morning. Man, you happy he didn't shoot y'all? 3 o'clock in the morning, talk about we gotta stop racial profiling and blah 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 and all this stuff. And he's like, get off my porch. You don't come to my house no 3 o'clock in no daggone morning go protest on my property. Get off my property. You want to protest, get on the street, but get off my damn porch. Because I don't trust you people. But that's the sad part of how things are, man. It's sad and it's not good. We're hurting ourselves too much to move forward. Well, I want to also play one more little thing as well too. So you always see it's protest. You see how things are going, right? So let's get to the next level of stuff. All right, warning. This have foul language. I don't try to play foul language stuff, you know, but I do like the pre-source of this. Now this is just backing up something that I've said. And I know my sister, you know, the youths they're getting to the youths right now. They're programming Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is nowhere close to what it was before. This is the same thing. PBS, the same thing. I literally watched a show back when, you remember, Where in the World is Carmen San Diego? That was, like, because Americans didn't know about geography. Like, all that stuff back there was good stuff. The old PBC, like, if I ever get kids, and I'm hoping to get kids, I am not letting my kids watch none of this new crap. Dead but serious. Dead serious, 100%. This new stuff that they're pushing, I'm not letting them watch it. I got a lot of old Sesame Street, old Wishbone, I like stuff because it. You know why I say that? Because in Maryland, do you know 41% of the kids cannot read grade level, and also 41% of the kids have a D- as a 1 point GPA. 41%. My mom saw a video. I'll put it on the channel. You guys see that she reacted to this woman who her son was just. Even my mom was stunned of like, wow, what's going on there? The school is the problem, but the parents are even worse. Now I'll say this to you people out there. Look, go to CNN. Go to CNET. Sorry, CNN. Go to CNET. Go to Forbes and stuff like that. On my system home, I have 3 VPNs. One that's constant on, one that's on to some devices, whatever, like this, and have to make sure. Go and find out to see what TikTok does to people, because right now TikTok just came out and told people, yeah, we're spying on you and whatever. But I'm just saying that's not the worst part of it. They can get, if you do your banking on your phone, they can get your key lock, your key locking, your password, your biometrics. They do all that stuff. They literally do all that stuff on your phone. I don't want TikTok on my phone. And that's why I have a virtual network to stop that as best as it can. I was saying that was a bad idea, but let's flip this one again. I'll flip this one here. Give me a second, so you guys can see again. TikTok now. I'm not a social media person per se, but this is something I wouldn't want to put on my daggone phone anyway.
I know this shit was revealed a couple weeks ago, but as I calmly waited for anyone at all to give a fuck, I was sort of surprised when very few people actually did. Hell, I forgot to for 2 fucking weeks until I remembered I'd left myself a note to fucking record this rant. After years of Wall Street Journal and Forbes stink pieces about if TikTok is actually spying on its users, TikTok quietly updated their terms of use and confirmed precisely that. And yes, that TikTok, not the kick-ass steampunk robot in Return to Oz, but the electric eye enumerating your individual ballsack hairs with space-age scrot tech. I know you're going to be shocked by this, but turns out China done had been spying on our asses. Or at least they've been spying on the 15-year-old fucknuts who, for some bizarre reason, actually use TikTok. Which, as a complete aside, folks, has anyone ever seen a more balls-out, boomerific app more readily embraced by Zoomers worldwide? Oh, what's that? Vine, but even shittier with a side of spyware? Sign me the fuck up! Here's a copy of my social security number and a list of my darkest abiding fears. Look, anyone with eyeballs knows the game here. There are no corporations that are just incidentally Chinese. To even be allowed to have the most marginal modicum of success in the CCP dictatorship in question, you must first be allowed special dispensation from the authoritarian assets that run the country.
Yep, if you have any big company that makes any type of money, the president has to sign off on it. Because if he don't sign off on it, you ain't going nowhere. And that's what communists breeds. That's what people are like, oh, we got ways to find our way around it. Okay. Stop getting them lips, get them lips puckered up. Because you're going to be pucking them up. And also get your cheeks spread open because China might have small, as Eddie Murphy's joke was, China might have men might have small penises. But they know how to use it well. That's why they have 1.6 billion of them.
In question, a bit like what we do with corporate taxes and regulations. But look, TikTok's actions this past month were brazen even by Bolshevik standards. After innumerable lawsuits and threatened lawsuits over the fact that they gather user data for Lemmy knows fucking what, one of which was settled out of court recently for 66 million British pounds, or nearly $100 million, just in case you feel like pausing to gawk at our righteous Biden-era fucking inflation figures. No sooner does Joe Bizwo shuffle aimlessly into the Oval Artifice than TikTok says, fuck it, and does it anyway, quietly updating their terms of use to include comforting asides, such as an outright admission that they, quote, collect biometric identifiers and biometric information, and that such info will likely take...
What I said, they were doing this because, again, look, check that CNET thing to see how they could do stuff to get in the bank accounts, whatever. Mine is, you gotta use dual authentication to do certain stuff, but again, this is their thing. We may collect, you are, biometric information and define it under U.S. law, face print, voice print, oh my goodness, fingerprint,
the form of, quote, face prints and voice prints. Perhaps anticipating the typhoon of inbound fucking lawsuits on offer here, they attempted to head off anti-commie criticisms by half-assedly adding, quote, where required by law, we will seek any required permissions from you prior to any such collection. But putting aside that they don't specify whether that means federal or fucking state law, of which only about a half dozen states even have any such laws, the interesting fact about this section of the agreement is that it's also the only paragraph in the entire Dead Sea Scroll-sized document that deliberately fails to identify why they want that information. Earlier on, for example, discussing generic data collection, TikTok clearly specifies they need it for, quote, special video effects, for content moderation, for demographic classification, for content and ad recommendations, and for other non-personally identifying operations, unquote. Then they get to the part where they're literally storing your digital goddamn death mask, and suddenly the only explanation on offer is, look, trust me, bro. Bitch, I'd sooner trust Jared Fogle in the ball pit at Discovery Zone. Yet somehow the most base generation pile onto this app like Lakers onto a Kardashian. Gosh, if only a prominent politician had...
I know, right?
Sign an executive order banning the app, only to be promptly rescinded by the China-connected Democratic presidential candidate who shambled into office 4 fucking years later, or something. Gosh, I wonder if Chen Lin of Tu Chao is enjoying his $250,000 Hunter Biden portrait, huh? Can you even call it a Cold War at this point when half the time we're the ones futzing with the fucking thermostat to begin with? Well, evidently China can, seeing as they convened a study session. See a semi-private evil asshole meeting wherein they lay out their propaganda strategy with the subtlety of Donald Pleasance and You Only Live Twice, and basically outright admitted exactly that, impelling the Politburo to, quote, pay attention to the strategy and art of narrative warfare.
Again, and he knows that widen your circles over a majority and pay attention to the narrative warfare, because that's basically what it is.
Public propaganda meetings, facial recognition databases directly accessed by a Chi-Com dictatorship. And oh, did I mention that for most of the day these terms of use went live, the website where they could actually be read was off fucking line? Hey, maybe if you want Alex Jones to stop looking right all the time, China should stop writing his scripts for him. This is the kind of shameful shit that's happening while the cucks in Congress were busy making Juneteenth a national fucking holiday, which, I mean, I'm all for venerating Mo Howard's birthday. I'd just rather you didn't use my money to motherfucking do it. And don't give me that shit about how this software is a double-edged sword or primarily intended to control the commie's own population.
They have their own... TikTok is that for that. It's for the West. They already control their own population. They have their own. They have their own. All their money is basically now using physical money in China is almost non-existent, except for if the rural areas we could still board and everything. Other than that, it's all through apps and everything. Which who controls it? They have access to your bank account. Dead point blank. They have access to your bank account. I gotta see if I can find that video where this guy walked across the street. He was from Australia and he showed this, and it was CNBC, and he got 1-2 steps. He was 1-2 steps short of being before the light changed to red, and then they texted him and said, "Well, you jaywalk," and then promptly after that, he got another notification. We already took the money out of your account for your transgression. You ain't fighting it. You can't contest it. Money's already got out of your bank.
Not engineered to recognize Chinese citizens? Simple. Because it's only programmed to detect differing fucking facial features. I'm not saying that software would need an update to function in Asia, but they held a look-alike contest at the Beijing Olympics. Yeah, everyone won. Razor fist. God, fucking speed.
Again, I apologize for the curse and everything like that. Not needed, of course. A shout out to Mr. Fist in that regard. But on a serious note, though, yeah, I don't want an app on my daggone phone. Technically speaking, I remember a person look at me. She's like, "I want to use this app on your phone," and I said, "Look, here's my apps. Like, I don't literally. I have just like one scroll, 1, 2, yeah, 2 scrolls on my apps. That's it. I don't have I'm not even show good, but that's it. That's all I have. And majority of those are what? The clock, calculator, calendar, camera, photo maker, contacts. These are like the generic apps that come with the phone. So I don't even have something you can't really get rid of. Okay, it is what it is. But like I said, that's all I have. Most people got like rows and rows and rows. I don't have that. I have just up, bam, bam. That's it. That's how it is. So I don't see why. Yeah. You see how crazy these things are. Again, the world has always been crazy. Always has, always will. It is. Just human nature is what it is. I've said it before, for me it's like humans do the most, crazy things. We do. And it's sad that we put it that way. But it's not gonna look as good as you think it is. It's not. You see what's going on, like I said, you saw what's going on with Haiti, you see what's going on in Cuba, you see what's going on in South Africa. The Cuba stuff is stuff that's built up. Africa, I called that 4 years ago. I said that was going to happen because of what's going on. I like how they put this is because the former president got arrested. He did horrible stuff. I'm surprised he did get arrested. Again, Zimbabwe. See how that war is going on? There's other countries in the world that's going crazy right now. I mean, India, Pakistan. I mean, Egypt still. It's a keg. It's a keg. It's by some miracle of luck that we don't have a world war, really, per se. But the introduction of the internet has its ups and downs, and we're seeing the negatives a little bit more than the positives. I think we're more easy when we're blind and ignorant, not knowing what's going on all around the world, if I have to be honest with you. Oh, sorry. And also, I wish we didn't have 24-hour news, but that's another thing as well, too. That's what we have. I remember when I went with my ex-fiance. we went to the islands. We went to St. Thomas in a nice house that I rented out everything. So whatever. You were a beautiful place. You could do so many things. You know what she was watching? CNN. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You travel all and you watching CNN for sake? Look over the balcony. Enjoy the fresh air. Enjoy the food, which she did. But still, like, can't tell there's some kind of different show, whatever. CNN, you watching it on your vacation? Jeez. Little mouses in turning wheels. That's what it is. It's sad. It's literally sad. And I wish a lot of people could wake up to what's going on. But hey, who am I to say anything? I basically keep, like I said, Project Open Mic is topical, so I tell you stuff about stuff. But like I said, I do not watch news 24 hours a day. Okay, I have my circle stuff that I do. Then I do my research and I bring up stuff and I find it and I put it on the platform for you guys to listen to and watch. That's the way I do it. And inject simple sense in there. Can't say common sense because common sense is not around as much. Simple sense in there. That's what I injected in so you guys could see what's going on right in front of your eyes. Because sometimes they tell you the truth right in front of your eyes. Sometimes they also lie right in front of your eyes too. You're like, oh my God. Oh, you did not see this building get burned down? I'm like, it's on fire. What fire? I don't see no fire. It's burned the other building. Oh, there's no such thing as a fire. It's like, who are you fooling? Seriously, who are you pretending to be? But we see how all that stuff works out to me. So, hopefully you guys can, like I said, enjoy tonight's podcast. Again, you know what to do. Share it. If you're on YouTube, share it. If you're on Tempo, share it. If you're on Facebook, share it. Help build up this little platform here of telling you what's going on. Again, you might not agree with me 100%. I understand that. I don't want you to agree with me 100%. I want you to go and look at these things yourself and research them yourself. Again, I understand that many people cannot do that because, you get your lies or whatever. But in a serious note, though, just in that regard, yeah, just you know. Make sure that you're not being lied to or being basically controlled the way things are. It's not good. But again, remember, share the information. YouTube, you can subscribe. I'd rather you more the thumbs up and thumbs down and share the video. You don't gotta subscribe to the channel. I'd rather you do that. So go to Project Open Mic on YouTube. Again, Radio T3 on Tempo FM. Twitch, Project Open Mic on Twitch. We got that as well too. We have Project Open Mic on Twitter and on Instagram. If you want to catch up, if you want to email and talk about any issues, to do anything that we have, because again, I have no problem having conversations with people. That's the whole point of it. You'll go to Project Open Mic T3@gmail.com. Voice your opinions, and we could go with that. But in that regard, I hope you guys will have a good night. Again, we just had a little storm that came through. I know up in New York we had a couple of storms going on over there. Still have problems down in St. Vincent with the volcanoes. It's not easy, and of course, as I just showed you, things around the world is just as crazy as they always be. But you only can control your hands, your own stuff, your hands and your feet. So protect yourself, then protect your loved ones close to you, your families, and you spread it out. Don't look to the government for nothing. We know I'm not a crazy libertarian that we don't need roads to be done and all this stuff. Yes, I'm not that crazy. We need a good balance between things. Basically, I mostly preach balance in a way, but you will see when the government does stuff. I just showed you how crazy it can really get. It can really get. With the two people we have in the office right now, yes, Trump was not the perfect president. Of course, he had a problem. He had issues, and I called it out on it. But the common sense, simple stuff that people didn't want him to vote because he got rid of the mean tweet, to what we got right now, where your insulin went up, gas prices went up, inflation went up, all this stuff going, getting to a point now that people we have a weird economy that people don't want to hire. No, there's people getting hired like at a crazy rate. Because everywhere I go, I see hiring signs. Even on my receipts, I see, hey, I want to hire, but nobody want to work because they're getting too much money from the government, which is going to cause this problem. Just like you saw in South Africa. If nobody's working, how are you going to create these things? And if you can create things, how you can get the money? If you get the money, then how are you going to move on? I feel for Africa, South Africa. I really do. This sucks. I wish that you guys woke up to this, that this nonsense was going to be like that, but hey, it is what it is. So, again, thank you for joining me here. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be back for the side chat. It's going to be a little different, you know, trying one of the person who keeps things going on the side chat. He got computer internet issues, so shout out to him if he's ever listened to it. Hopefully we'll get the full cast of side chat people back in going. But yes, it is going to happen tomorrow. Maybe hopefully I'll talk to one of the person that you barely see on the channel, which is Kendrick, and we could have a conversation of topics. I think he want to do something about profiling, but we'll see how it goes. So remember to check back tomorrow on Tempo FM, on Twitch, Project Over Mike, Twitch again, all the places where you always be to check out the side chat. With that said, remember, evil comes in all shapes, colors, sizes, creeds, heights, nationality, genders. Evil is just evil. And also, remember, people are stupid, individuals smart. Please be that smart individual. Protect yourself, do what you can, do what you do, alright? This is your boy, Take for Project Over Mike. Wish you all the best. Y'all have a lovely weekend, and we'll catch you next time. It's Thursday. Same shout.